Good day. I mentioned this before. The current administration would intentionally and deliberately allow Americans' data to be compromised. What happens next? After compromising our data, they may have to reissue everyone a social security number. They can change the format and usher in 666 and the end times. Please pay attention to what is going on. America is facing a security crisis unlike anything in its history. Not a foreign military threat, not a cyber attack from overseas. This time, the danger came from inside our own government. Sensitive Social Security data belonging to millions of Americans was accessed, mishandled, and in some cases shared with unauthorized third parties. Lawmakers warn this may be the largest data breach in our nation's history. This isn't just a bureaucratic failure, it's a national security emergency. What happened? According to court filings, employees within the Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, shared Social Security data on an unauthorized private server, bypassing federal cybersecurity protocols. The Social Security Administration admitted it still does not know exactly what data was shared or whether it remains stored on that server. Investigations revealed that DOGE staff uploaded sensitive SSA data to a third-party Cloudflare server without approval, violating federal policy and exposing Americans' most personal information to unknown risks. But the breach wasn't just technical, it was political. Multiple reports show that DOGE employees were secretly in contact with an advocacy group seeking to overturn election results in certain states. One employee even signed an agreement that may have involved using Social Security data to match state voter rolls. The Justice Department later confirmed that DOGE personnel had more access to personal data than previously acknowledged, and may have used that access in ways that violated court orders and federal law. This is not simply a breach. It is a breakdown of trust at the highest levels of government. The scale of the threat. While the DOGE scandal unfolded, cybersecurity experts were already warning of a much larger crisis, a massive Social Security data breach that may have compromised the personal information of millions or even billions of people worldwide. Reports indicate that Social Security numbers, addresses, and family information may have been exposed in a global data leak tied to background check databases and other repositories of personal information. If these numbers are accurate, nearly every American could now be at risk of identity theft, financial fraud, and long-term digital impersonation. This means criminals or foreign intelligence agencies could open bank accounts, apply for loans, file fraudulent tax returns, or even create synthetic identities using real American Social Security numbers. And once a Social Security number is compromised, it is compromised for life, unless the government takes the extraordinary step of reissuing new numbers nationwide. National security implications. The misuse of Social Security data isn't just a privacy issue, it is a national security threat. Election integrity. DOGE employees were allegedly in communication with a political group attempting to overturn election results using SSA data. This represents a direct threat to democratic processes and violates the Hatch Act, which prohibits political activity by federal employees in their official roles. 2. Identity theft at scale. With billions of records potentially exposed, hostile actors could impersonate Americans, manipulate financial systems, or even infiltrate government programs. 3. Economic instability. If widespread fraud occurs, tax fraud, credit fraud, benefits fraud, the economic impact could reach into the hundreds of billions of dollars. 4. Loss of public trust. When the government itself mishandles the most sensitive data it collects, Americans lose confidence in the institutions meant to protect them. This is why lawmakers are calling for criminal investigations and demanding accountability from those responsible for the DOGE breach and its aftermath. Should America reissue Social Security numbers? Reissuing Social Security numbers has long been considered unthinkable, but after these revelations, it may be the only way to protect Americans from lifelong vulnerability. Reissuing SSNs would be a massive undertaking, logistically, financially, and technologically. But the alternative is allowing millions of Americans to live with permanently compromised identities. If the government cannot guarantee the security of the current system, then the system must change. America's security depends on more than borders and military strength. It depends on the protection of our identities, our data, and our democracy. The DOGE scandal and the massive Social Security breaches are a wake-up call. If we fail to act now, the consequences will echo for generations. What do you think? Please leave your comments. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe.